everyone, Karina here from yarn2talk.ca, and today I'm going to be showing you how to start the second leg for the 20-inch doll. So here I've got my first leg already made, and just a note before I begin this, I'm a left-handed crocheter. So if you're right-handed, then your leg is already on this side, okay? So you're going to be working in the opposite direction. I go around rows this way or rounds this way. You'll be working the other way, and you'll already have your leg right here on the right side of the doll. Mine is already on the left, so I'll just talk about the right and the left crocheting methods as I go along. So if you take a look at your doll here, you can see that this is the front of the foot. Okay, so that's the front of the doll. So we're going to turn it so that the back of the doll is facing us. Okay, so this is the back of your leg. And if you're a right-handed crocheter, the back of your leg will be over here. So then this is the stitch marker left over from that last round of creating the body. So that's the first stitch right beside that first leg that I made. So to begin, I want to count over. I'm going to go this way, so I'm going to count to the right. If you're a right-handed crocheter, you're going to be working that way, but you're still on the back of the doll. You're going to be counting 10 stitches to the left of that first leg. If you're a left-handed crocheter, you're going to be counting 10 stitches to the right of that first leg, okay? So I'm going to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So right here is where I want to begin that first round for my second leg. Give it a double count always. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? So another thing that I like to mark out before I even begin the leg is I want to know what my 21 stitches are. Because if you look here on the side of the first leg, it almost looks like one of these might be stitches, but they're not. So I like to leave this stitch marker in just so that I know that this was where I started my count over. And then I like to count 21 stitches because that's how many we're going to need for the entire leg. And I just put a marking there so I know that that's exactly how many stitches I need. And then along here where these kind of little spaces are for the leg, I'll do a bit of a toggle, but I won't change my stitch count for my leg. So I'm going to show you what I mean by all of that. So we're going to count to 21, beginning at this first one beside your leg. Again, if you're a right-handed crocheter, you're going to be counting around the other direction. I'm left, so I'm going to be counting this way. So just mark your 21st stitch. So we know that this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, give that a double count. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So now we know that these spaces right here, you can see these little spaces here that might look like they're stitches, but they're not. They're stitches that lead up to that first leg, okay? So we'll toggle those in so that there's no spaces. So let's take our working yarn here, and we're going to begin on the 10th stitch that we counted over. So I'm going to start with a slip stitch, okay? And on that 10th stitch that I've got marked, I'm going to pull through that slip stitch. Okay, and then I'll tighten it up. Go. I'm going to chain one, and I'm going to go into that first stitch there. This, I'm just marking the first stitch in the beginning of my round for the second leg. So that's 1. Okay, and if you want, while you're going along here, you can work over that tail to weave it in, that starting tail. So 2, 10, and it gets a little tricky when we get around closer to that first leg because we got to work around it. 11. Okay, so here now we're at this stitch marker where we know we've got the 21st stitch. So I'll show you what we're going to do for that. We're not going to change our stitch count, but we're going to toggle in the space for that leg when we get to it. So I'm going to take this out, this stitch marker, and set that off. I don't need that anymore. So I'm going to go into that stitch here. I'm going to pull up a loop. Okay. I'm just going to bend that leg out of the way, and I'm going to go into that space right here, if you can see. See, there's a space right beside the stitch I just did, and it's actually part of that first leg, but I'm going to toggle that into my stitch. So I'm going to go into that space, and I'm going to pull up a loop. Now I've got 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to pull through all 3, but I haven't changed my stitch count. That was the 12th stitch, okay? So from where we started, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've still got 12. Now I'm going to jump on over, just turning my legs slightly. So for the 13th stitch, I'm going to work into that next space right here. That's still part of that first leg, okay? So I'm going to go here if you have any spaces that you want to clean up. I could kind of jump right on over to this one if I wanted to, or I could go into this one. This one actually looks really tight. If there was a space, I would work into it to toggle it all together, but I'm going to go over to that space right beside my stitch and draw up a loop. It does get tight at this point, so just keep flipping that crochet hook back and forth, okay, to try not to pull up. Try to keep it nice and tight to the leg right now. And then I'm going to go into, see where I have that stitch marker? I'm going into there now. I'm creating my 13th stitch, okay. I'm going to take that stitch marker out so it's not in my way. And now, as you can see, I have 3 loops on my hook again. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. And that is my 13th stitch. Then I'm just going to keep continuing on to crochet around that second leg. Okay? So there's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. So there are my 21 stitches for my first leg, okay? And then I'm going to work in continuous rounds, just like I did for the first leg. So I'm jumping over that first chain where I started and just putting in my first single crochet for that second round of the second leg. Okay, and that's how you start the second leg for the 20-inch doll. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if it was helpful, and be sure to subscribe. I'm going to be posting lots of tips and tricks and helpful videos and free patterns and giveaways as well. Thank you.